In this episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief, I sit down with Chris to talk all about Seekers of Legends tabletop RPG that's currently on Kickstarter. Then we'll tell you about an awesome new book project that's also on Kickstarter coming to us from one of our proud Kickstarter campaign backers, and some of my all-time favorite authors ever. Then we'll dive into Kickstarter Corner, but before all of that, here are a few words about today's episode sponsors. If you're anything like me and have been tasked with writing adventures for your role-playing group, you're probably in a scramble the night or hour before your role-playing game nights, trying to come up with exactly how you're gonna slaughter your players. Not anymore! This episode is powered by the new Dungeons & Dragons Mystery Box that's currently on Kickstarter. Jennifer is building a custom 5e Dungeons & Dragons storyline. It will be a mystery, even to the Dungeon Master. This will be a new story with sealed envelopes for the Game Master that will be opened when entering a new area, with either a mystery to solve in the room, creature to attack, NPCs, or puzzles. The player's guide will have each room description available with room for the Dungeon Master to be able to adjust accordingly, or it can be read exactly for new Dungeon Masters. It is preset for players levels 1 through 20. Want to know more? Then you're going to want to go back and listen to our sit down with her. The easiest way to find that will be checking out her Kickstarter update entitled Giveaway. We've teamed up with her to bring you an awesome worldwide giveaway in which one lucky winner will win an awesome tower to add to your collection valued at 120 USD. Check that out over at thegiveawaygeek.com. You get extra entries for being subscribed to our show, as I know you are. You like games? Check. You like manga? Check. You like the 80s? Check. You're going to love this next sponsor. Double check. This episode is sponsored by Robotech Crisis Point. It's up for pre-order. Get some awesome exclusives by pre-ordering it today. In case you missed it, go give my interview with Dave, the designer and publisher, a listen by searching for Robotech Crisis Point on my website, GameReliefGo.com. Then pre-order soon, because when they run out of exclusives, they run out. This episode is also sponsored by Furious Tree Games, LLC, and their latest game creation, Widget Ridge, which is a steampunk deck-building game with crazy inventions that connect to make even cooler inventions. It's an Ian Taylor creation. I had the privilege of having Ian on the show. You can find that on our episode entitled, Can You Tell Me How to Get to Widget Ridge? So, go give it a listen and then back Widget Ridge, which has already surpassed its funding goal by Saturday the 27th of April.
Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, the podcast in which one man strives to level up his geekhood and helping you do the same one battle at a time. Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
Welcome to Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf. Today, or I guess this week, has been one of role-playing games. Today we're bringing another one to you in regards to role-playing campaign game that's on Kickstarter currently, Seekers of Legends tabletop RPG. And today we're lucky enough to be joined by the creator mastermind behind this game. Thank you so much for joining us today on Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, Chris. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, no problem. And so you're the mastermind behind Seekers of Legends, is that right?
Yeah, I basically started hashing out the rules when mostly from sort of the home rules me and my various groups used over the decade or so I've been game mastering.
Okay, great. Now, before we get into that, let's rewind a little bit if we could. How did you get into playing tabletop games and role-playing games?
I was introduced to it by my dad, who used to play first and second edition D&D. So first game I ever had was was with my dad as the game master when I was 9 years old.
I've been playing ever since.
There've been occasional breaks where I couldn't get a group together where, my dad had, work, so he couldn't necessarily run sessions all the time, but for the most part.
Okay, awesome. But I'm glad, but you've been playing other than those breaks or whatnot. Now, word on the street is you created your own tabletop RPG or are in the process of doing such. What can you tell us about Secret of Legends?
Seekers of Legend it's based on the OGL that Wizards put out in 2000. So, the Open Gaming License. It's designed to be sort of a successor to the 3.x system and Pathfinder because I followed the Pathfinder second edition playtest all throughout its entire run, and I just didn't like where it was going. So I felt that, okay, I don't like where it's going. Lots of other people don't seem to. Might as well try my hand at making something that'll work better for people who want something backward compatible.
Awesome. And how does this one work? Or, like, if I sat down to play if I sat down with you to play Secret of Legend, how does that look?
For a lot of the systems, part of the thing is we're still going to be doing testing, so there might be some changes because one of the things I've made sure with the Kickstarter campaign is that backers will get to have input on how the game evolves and changes before final publication. But it plays a bit like the 3.x. It plays like an innovation on the 3.x system.
Oh, okay.
So you'd still have your classic classes, from barbarian through to wizard, but with a couple of additions in the alchemist and the shaman. The shaman's a spontaneous divine caster, and the alchemist is an item crafting focused arcane class.
Okay, awesome. And how does it differ from Dungeons and Dragons?
Some key differences depends on if you're talking about 3.x or if you're talking about 5e. If we're talking about 3.x, it revises a lot of the rules so they're not as complicated. At least complicated in their wording. Prime example would be that you don't need 2 flowcharts just to be able to grapple. It also has a higher base power for characters. My base game, if you were to run it with point buy, would use an average game would have a 30 point buy as a starting point. It means you've got higher stats, so you don't have to, min max as much if you want to have some of the feats that require, higher stats. But at the same time, I'm upping a lot of the monster difficulty because if I'm going to boost the player power, I have to boost the monster power.
That makes sense, yeah. I used to listen to a podcast that they played Pathfinder on, and every time they roll, they have a bunch of modifiers and stuff. Is that going to be in your game as well?
For a good chunk of it, yes. I'm trying to modify certain aspects so it's not as intensive on adding it all together, but at the same time, I do think that to me, that's a good part of it because, as an example, for magic items, rather than having to get, say, a +1 sword before you can get it made keen, if you get a sword that's keen, it already has the modifiers built in.
Okay, that makes sense. So that's cool. Awesome. And what is like if I'm going into battle? I know you said you increased everybody's power as well as the monster's power, but what does battle look like, or like if I'm battling a monster or something in your system?
It will be a sequence of rounds determined by initiative, as in a lot of classic tabletop role-playing games. One of the differences is that there'll be an increasing bonus as we go through each round. So with each round after the first, you'll get a bonus on your attack and damage rolls and on your saves as you get more adjusted to being in combat. Same for monsters.
Oh, okay.
It means that the combat shouldn't last as long. I love Pathfinder and I love the 3.x systems, but even I know that battling a bunch of mooks taking half an hour is not fun.
Yeah. So it's going to be a lot quicker than that.
It'll be somewhat quicker. I can't say for sure how much quicker until I can, get some wider player feedback.
Okay, and so you need to do some more play testing, but the play testing that you've done thus far, have you had to scrap anything from the system yet?
Not majorly. So far, the changes for the most part have worked out pretty well. There were some. I think I've had to reword a few of the things because they caused some confusion amongst some of my players in the playtest group.
Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want confusion. That's good that you were able to get rid of that.
Yeah, it was chiefly around the whole the fact that your bonus is bundled in with your effect when it comes to rolling attack and damage for magic weapons or for defenses in magic armor, that sort of thing.
Okay, awesome. That's good you were able to fix it. So I know you're still playtesting and whatnot, but thus far, when it comes to Secrets of Legends tabletop RPG, what are you most proud of, Chris?
I'm most proud of how much fun so far everyone's having. So far, people are able to, they're able to actually feel like they're heroic when they're playing. They're not feeling like they're constantly being limited. They are still challenged, but they don't feel like they're having to run through mechanical hoops just to be able to do something cool while still having a rules heavy game.
Awesome, that's good. And when you get to the table, like a lot of times with regular board games and even role playing games and stuff, I have a lot of anxieties in getting them to the table just because you got to learn how to learn all the rules and read the book and stuff. How are you combating that, or like what all will I need to do so I can go ahead and jump into a game of Legend of Secrets of Legend?
Well, one of the key things I'm doing is I'm going to publish with the core rulebook a set of pre-generated characters, one for each class, along with some details on how to work each of the 3 archetypes that are included in the book into that pre-gen if you want to change that out.
Okay, so we won't have to worry about that. That's good. And is there going to be any art, or is this partly to get art for the whole thing, or?
I was going to say the Kickstarter is for the most part about actually paying for the art, because I've talked to people about art. There's some great artists I've looked into because I'm trying to sort of my inspiration for some of the art style I've been talking to people about is based around the Battle Chasers and Darksiders games, or the Battle Chasers comic and the Darksiders games. So the art style of Joe Madureira. But yeah, for the most part, there are 2 things I'm looking for with the Kickstarter. First is to be able to pay for the art because I'm self-employed. This is all coming out of my personal pocket at the moment. And unfortunately, artists are not cheap if you want the good ones. And the other is to get a more professional, widespread publishing option. Because there's a publishing house based here in the UK, which for just under £1,000 will get you publishing, so it can be commissioned to order from Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and a couple of other places.
Okay, that'd be good. And so mainly for the art and that 5,821 USD. I don't know what it is in pounds or everything, but that will get you to the art.
That's 4,500. It would have been just 4,000 originally, but Kickstarter takes up to 10% of your earnings at the end of the campaign, so I had to account for that.
Okay, and so that'll get us the art. And once this is successfully funded and reaches its funding goal, and you get the art and stuff, so you don't overpromise and underdeliver. When would you anticipate delivering Seekers of Legend tabletop RPG to your backers?
Seekers of Legend would be planned to release there around April of next year.
Okay, so not too long. Does that mean you have a lot of the writing done and stuff?
I've got a fair chunk of the writing. It's got a fair chunk of the writing done, though it will be going under revision for at least the first few months as I get, the backers being able to have a look at all the contents and see what they think.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. You're gonna involve them in playtesting?
Yeah, basically every week backers will be given access to, from the beginning, backers will be given as much of the rules as we've got funded, access to that, and then they'll also be able to, as we progress, we'll be doing weekly revisions and sending it out to them, and then they can give me feedback, and I will revise it based on overall feedback.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, that's cool that they'll be able to participate in that. So when it comes to Secrets of Legend tabletop RPG, what makes your game pop or stand out as one my audience should go check out the Kickstarter page, and if they like what they see, back it?
To me, the biggest thing is that unlike so many other games that are coming out today, like Pathfinder 2nd Edition or D&D 5th Edition, I don't view simplicity and wide audience as the key point. What I want is for it to be an enjoyable, complex game that prioritizes player customizability and the ability for players to feel like heroes when they're playing. So it's going to so every class published in the core rulebook will have 3 archetypes, along with various talent pools that you can use to further customize your character. So, unlike in a lot of games where you have to choose an archetype, like say in 5th edition, the archetypes are optional, but they're another way to make exactly what you want from as early as possible. It's a way to focus on getting class fantasy.
That sounds pretty cool. So mine is coming over there to your hometown to stalk you and keep up with you that way. How can people keep up with you online, Chris?
Well, there's our Facebook group, or our Facebook page on Seekers of Legend. We also have a YouTube channel dedicated to Seekers of Legend. Another one which is just called Bardic DM, which I use for live streaming some Pathfinder games where I use a lot of the basic rules for Seekers of Legend, or sort of the beta rules for Seekers of Legend in place of Pathfinder rules. So if people want a live taste of the play, they can check out the streams there.
And how often do you do those?
Every week, Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, they get uploaded to YouTube on Monday, but they're also streamed on Twitch through Twitch/BardicDM on Sundays, I say.
And if you get me all the links, I'll make sure I leave those in the show notes so people can just click on over.
And also, if anyone wants to check out the Kickstarter, the links to all the social media there are there as well.
Oh, okay. So they can just go straight to because we'll especially leave a link to the Kickstarter page, and so they can just find all the links to the social media and everything. Yeah, I see that, and the Twitch as well. They can find that all via the Kickstarter page, it looks like.
I have also stated, and I will carry through with this, if we only get funded for the first one, I will personally refund you the difference between this and the £50 law.
Okay, cool. You don't get that very typically, so that's good that you'll be willing to do that.
And then there's a Supreme Archivist, which is the upgrade of the Archivist and has the same free refund option. It's £250 and it gets you 3 full sets of the Seekers of Legend RPG books. Again, it's more for retailers than it is for general customers. Although if you want to invest in 3 sets, then that's fine with me as well. But I'm more than happy to, pay back if we can't give you what should be given by that tier, because it's only fair.
Well, there you go. Awesome. Yeah, so it looks like you got all your bases covered there. Yeah, for sure. Most definitely. So that's good that you're willing to do that. And like I said, we'll make sure we leave all the links in the show notes so people can go ahead and jump on over and check out Seekers of Legend Tabletop RPG.
If anyone has any questions, though, I will be doing some I should hopefully be posting on the updates for the campaign in a couple of days about Q&A session I'll be running at some point next week. I believe it should be on the 2nd of May, but I'll have to double check that with the host about that one.
So it'll be on Kickstarter through the 9th of June. But yeah, we don't want to keep you all night, Chris, but we really appreciate you coming on Getting Geeky with Gamerleaf with us to talk all about Seekers of Legend.
Sure. Goodbye, folks. Take care, and hope to hear back from you on the Kickstarter.
Gamerleaf levels up.
Well, that was a fun interview. If you want to add this new arsenal to your role-playing game capacities, make sure you click the link in the show notes and back their campaign.
Gamerleaf levels up.
Before we go to Kickstarter Corner, I'd be very ungrateful if I didn't shout out and deliver one of my backers' rewards, so here goes. Much thanks be to Viction Vortex for backing our Kickstarter campaign. I was very pleased to learn that they've launched their very first Kickstarter campaign, Grifty Shades of Fae, a fiction anthology cautionary tales uncovering the darker side of the fairy folk, which doesn't include mature content, making it family friendly. It'll include works from 2 of my very favorite authors, both David Farland, who is my favorite when it comes to epic fantasy novels, as well as Michael Brent Collins, who is my all-time favorite horror author. If I can somehow convince the 2 of them to come on the show to talk more about this, as well as their other writing, I will do it. It also includes the likes of Sarah Hoyt, Patty Larson, Johnny Worthen, and A.J. Benson. If you're a reader, know a reader, or just want some awesome stories, check out Grifty Shades of Fae, a fiction anthology that'll be on Kickstarter through Saturday the 25th of May. And then back it like I did. Let's take a walk, not to the corner store, but to Kickstarter Corner.
What is this place? What is it doing here in the Leaves computer? Oh, it's Kickstarter Corner with the Leaves.
Did you catch our episode on Tuesday the 22nd of April? No? Well, go back and give it a listen. We sat down with Kirsty and Sherman to talk all about Endless Realms, Tome of Spirits, which sounds like an awesome resource to add to your role-playing game arsenal. As well, I really love the art. You can easily access the interview by scrolling down near the bottom of their Kickstarter campaign page. Give it a listen. Check out the Kickstarter and then back it before Thursday the 23rd of May. Your kids are losing way too many dice? Plus, you want to be the coolest one on the block when it comes to rolling and storing your dice? Then you're going to need the Nomad's Magnetic Dice Tower by Master Monk. It's a magnetic dice tower featuring handcrafted inlays and a unique design that works with the Nomad's Armory. It folds down nicely and is held together by earth magnets. The audio alone just doesn't cut it. I'd encourage you to jump on over and check out their Kickstarter page, as well as giving my interview with the creator to listen. Find it in my episode entitled Be the Coolest One on the Block with the Nomad's Magnetic Dice Tower, or find it in their update entitled Interview with Gamerleaf and our next live stream this Saturday. Shard Hunters the card game. It's simple and dynamic gameplay, exclusive artwork, love dark fantasy games but don't have much time? Then this 20-minute game is for you. Some things about the game: actions happen simultaneously, no handicap for new players, no stealing, no player elimination, and monster cards are completely language independent. Plus, the art is amazing. Jump on over and check out their Kickstarter campaign and back it before Friday the 10th of May. If I got asked who's your favorite designer that if you could, you'd want all their games, that's easy. Hands down, I'd say Ta-Te Wu. He's back. This time, it's a game that uses my favorite mechanics of deck building in Promenade, the game of impressionist art, in which you become the most prestigious painting collector in a 2 to 4 player economic deck building game of impressionistic art. Players are art collectors, and the goal is to manipulate marketing value by acquiring and exhibiting impressionistic paintings. Players receive points by exhibiting paintings from their hand and additional points from the paintings and gold in their collection at the end of the game. When the game ends, the player with the most victory points wins the game. Go check it out and back the Kickstarter before Sunday, May 12th. Plus, you can go and search on my website for Promenade, and you should be able to find the episode that way. You enter the unknown dungeon as the hunter. Turn by turn, the dungeon reveals itself to your party. You must adapt your strategy. Choose when to forge ahead or when to step back and regroup. The dungeon can be unforgiving, and even in competitive play, you might find it necessary to forge alliances to survive. Your team makes noise as they explore. The more noise they make, the more they risk awakening the dark evil that lurks within. Soon you realize that you have become the hunted. Sound familiar? Not my fault. You missed the Dungeons of Infinity on Kickstarter? Yes, that was my fault. Well, I'm here to mend my mistakes, to let you know we're not too late. If you missed the campaign, don't dismay. Click the link in my show notes to show your support and not have to be worried if it won't reach its funding goal, because it's already been done for you on the Kickstarter. Dungeons of Infinity is a board game for 1 to 5 players set in a mythical kingdom ruled by King Armiger. His land is full of dungeons built in the distant past. He recruits teams of heroes to delve into many dungeons to free the land from the evils that lie within. Head on over and make your pledge today by clicking the link in the show notes before you miss it yet again. But this time, it won't be my fault. Just like the next guy, I love a good board game. I also love to dress with class, so imagine my surprise when I found this next one on Kickstarter. Board Game Neckties by Tactical Meeple Depot, allowing us to geek out when we dress up. They have partnered with a number of your favorite publishers and are in talks with even more to bring us designs based on some of their greatest known games. Each is officially licensed and is designed with the actual illustrations and graphics from the games we love. Take a look at the current roster of available designs, all starting at just $18 on their Kickstarter page. Anywhere from Scythe, Mystic Vale to Smash Up, plus many others. To sweeten the deal, we have teamed up with Tactical Meeple Depot on our other site, thegiveawaygeek.com, to bring y'all an awesome giveaway. One person will win 3 ties including Roll for Your Life Candyman, Space Base, and a Meeple tie. If the Kickstarter project reaches its funding goal, another person will win 2 of those ties that they choose, and another winner will win one of those ties of their choice. Go check out the giveaway at thegiveawaygeek.com and check out their Kickstarter, and let's make this a reality. If you want to hear more from Tactical Meeple Depot, go give my interview with Gilbert a listen. It's easily accessible in their Kickstarter update entitled Over Halfway There, an interview with GamerLeaf. Give it a listen, check out the campaign and giveaway, and back the coolest ties out there before Thursday the 2nd of May. Last but not least is Titana Machina, which is a crunchy giant robot brawl that reminds me of Rampage, the video game, minus the dexterity, but with cool robots. They're also doing a giveaway at thegiveawaygeek.com. Can't figure out how to pronounce the name of the game? Me neither, so I just asked in my interview with Robert. Go give that a listen in my interview with him. It's easily accessed by going to their Kickstarter page entitled, How Do You Pronounce This Word? Tacina Machina. Go listen and check out their Kickstarter and the giveaway and back the campaign before May 20th. Are you from the 1900s like me? What if I told you you could relive some of your youth in a deck builder inspired after some of your favorite cartoons of the 90s? Well, you're not going to want to miss Venom Assault, Villains and Valor, Venom Assault, Villains and Valor expansion to Venom Assault. A deck builder with dice-based combat, includes reprint of the base game. That's right, Venom Assault, the base game, is an 80s cartoon-inspired cooperative deck builder with dice-based combat mechanics for 1 to 5 players, ages 14 and up. You and your fellow tacticians will lead Freedom Squadron by recruiting the best and brightest soldiers to join your team. Your multinational force has one purpose: defeat Venom before they unleash havoc upon the world. Go check it out now and make your pledge before Wednesday the 1st of May. Before next time, I hope you'll go ahead and get geeky, stay geeky, and bring others in the geekfold by sharing this podcast with them and our giveaways over at thegiveawaygeek.com. GamerLeaf out.
GamerLeaf levels up. Tune in next week to see if GamerLeaf's luck holds up.